Hey, 8th grade, this is my third and last attempt to make a CBA corrections video with this iPad. Ugh. Okay, number one, only one kid missed. And listen, kid, if you missed this. Number one was just about the water principle, where you add these two regions and the water all falls into this one. The two small squares equal the big one. So the area of X and the area of Y, or they use the word region here, adds up to the region of Z. So all we were doing was matching. Now get on you guys to annotate. I sure wish you would. You're graving up this time, so I guess I can't get on your case too bad. But it was C because it says region Z is the same as both region X and region Y. So that was just a reading problem. Really wasn't any math, and I'm really proud of you that so many got it right. Only one missed. Number two, nobody missed. No one missed number two. High five. Number three, and you can see I've already done the work for you. We're trying to find out how far it is between these 2 points. So you connect it with your ruler. Did you use a ruler? Then some of you actually tried to count this way, as if. You can't count that way. But what you can do is you can take your ruler or a straight edge. Let me see if I can get a, whoops, that's not blank. There's my ruler on the floor. You can just estimate. Let's do it in metric. This one is... this leg is 3, and this is just right about 3. They're not too far away from each other. So they're pretty close in size. Well, since this is the hypotenuse, I could have ruled out A and C. They're too small. 13 sounds too big. Here is the work on number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 of you missed it. Did you set it up this way? Really? Just as easy as number 2 that y'all got right. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The square root of 97. I crack the egg and find out that my answer is slightly less than 10. Not sure about that one, guys. Some of you, the ones who missed it put C. So... the square root of 97 was like 9.8, maybe 9.9. That's closer to 10 than 9. Maybe that's why you missed it. You have to round up. Is that why you missed it? Don't look at just the first digit. Okay, number 4. Only 2 of you missed. So we're looking for the long side. So it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So here is the work. You can match up. Now one of you missed because you put 32 as your answer, when the answer is exactly 32.5. So that's a silly reason to miss. The other one, I'm not sure if you just, well, I think all your work might be wrong, but the other person who missed, you may need to talk to me. Okay, question, whoops. Moving on, excuse me. Throwing paper everywhere. Moving on to number 5. Let me cover it up. Cover up the answer. And number 5. Wow, I got stuff everywhere. Only 2 of you missed. You're missing a leg. It has to be less than 39. So first thing I did was cross out 40 and 51. So it has to be 37 or 27. Well, here's my work. The only thing I didn't do here is crack the egg. The square root of 1377 is about 37.1. So check your work. It's a subtraction problem, because we're missing one of the legs. A, B, C. A and B are interchangeable, but this has to be C. My answer had to be smaller than 39. Okay, number 6. Only one kid missed number 6. So again, if If you missed it, let's talk about why later. Legs, diagonal, just like a TV. Pretty straightforward. I crack the egg, and I find out C is about 13.2. Pretty straightforward. Now number 7, 1, 2, no, only 3 people missed. Number 7 was a proof. You can see my work. On A, 6 squared plus 8 squared is 10 squared. This side is 100, this side is 100. So I'm looking for not. Did you see the word not? I underlined it, and now I'm circling it. Did you mark up your test? Did you read it carefully? Did you annotate? No, no, and no. B works, moving right to C. 4 squared plus 6 squared equals 10 squared. Not even close. 4 squared plus 6 squared is only 52. 10 squared is 100. C could not be a right triangle. Number 8. Now, here's where a lot of kids missed. Now, I've already done the work because I've already done this video twice. The principle says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now the only thing I don't like about A is they wrote 25 out here when it's really maybe should be inside. But 3 squared is 9. 3 squared, or 3 times 3. 4 squared is 16. And this would be 5 squared. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle if you put it together. And 9 plus 16 is 25. B, 9 squared is 81. This one already has the square. 21 squared is 441. These two, wow, those only add up to 225. That isn't even close to 441. So B was the wrong one. It wants to know which one did not support this statement. And if you keep looking on the next two, 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169. You can add the areas. And I've done 6 squared here to see that these two add up to this one. So it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm just adding the squares. It makes it a little bit easier. So here we go again. The first thing I did was made sure I got the right points, and then I'm doing some counting. For the legs, I have 10 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 of you missed number 9. Here's the work. A squared plus b squared. Again, some of you tried to count this, I think. You can't count a diagonal. It has nothing to judge it by. I can kind of see with my ruler, I can estimate. I can tell you that it has to be larger than 10, and when comparing these, 10 is about 3, and this one is quite a bit bigger. That one's about 4 centimeters, so I know it's longer than 10. 6 is too small, 9 is too small. You had a 50-50 of getting it right. If you just know that this is the long side, you had a 50-50 of finding a side longer. So think about ruling out too small or too big answers next time on this kind of question. Number 10, only one kid missed. Stat, edit, stat, calculate. I did it old school and noticed that the change in y is 15, the change in x is 1. 15 divided by 1 is 15. The slope is 15. I could plug in 0, 20, and it would fit perfect in here. That's still 15 and 1. The y-intercept is 20. Not sure why you missed it. Only one kid missed. 11 was horrible. What happened on 11? I think I have some ideas, and I looked, and all your answers are all over the place. Well, I went kind of old school. and I did the change in y divided by change in x, and I find that the slope is 12. And I kind of worked backwards to find the y-intercept is -2. You should have done stat edit. Let's talk about some reasons why you might have missed it. Did you realize x, and this is y, this is x, and this is y, and this is x, and this is y when you did stat edit? That's one possibility. If you did that, you would have never got 15. I got 12 and -2, so I don't know how you could have answered A or D. That would be kind of silly. So the only difference between B and C is B says it's directly proportional. Well, if you've got a slope and a y-intercept, it's impossible for it to be proportional. Proportional equations always go through the origin. And if you did all of these, 142 divided by 11, 190 divided by 15, if you did y divided by x, they would be all over the place. It's not proportional. It is not a direct variation. Correct answer was C. So that was a really bad one. If you have two numbers, it's not proportional. Number 12. Only one student missed again. 1, 2, 3. -3, you're going backwards. This one, 1, 2, 3, you'd end up at 32.4. We don't write it that way. Shouldn't have missed number 12. That was pretty easy. 13 is on the next page. I hope this works, folks. I've spent a lot of time on this. 45 minutes so far. 1, 2, 1, 3. Cheating X. He's going out with 2 and 3. On a machine, you'd push the 1 button and 2 would come out sometimes and 3 would come out sometimes. That machine doesn't work. So 14 was not our best. I think I have an idea. If you did stat edit, you find that it says 2.5 was the slope. So which one of these is equivalent to 2.5? Well, you could do math. Enter. I believe that's changing it to a fraction. If it's changing it to a decimal, it's math, and it's either option 1 or option 2 to change a decimal to a fraction. Or you could have simply done 5 divided by 2, and that is 2.5. So I'm guessing you missed it because if you did stat edit, you had a decimal, and these were written in fraction form. Usually the slope is written as a fraction because then we could graph it up 5 over 2. I can't graph a unit rate of 2.5 as easily. Did you miss it because it's a fraction and a decimal? I'm guessing that's why. Okay, number 15 was super easy. Again, a lot of you missed it. Here's the key. Varies directly. So this was y divided by x if it varies directly. If 5 hot dogs were $18.75, what is 1 hot dog is basically what it's asking you. If it says it's proportional, varies directly, or constant of variation, if you want to, you could do this. Hot dogs, money, 5 hot dogs were $18.75. How much is it for 1 hot dog? You still find out that it's $18 divided by the 5 hot dogs. So constant of variation is the same as unit rate. It's $3.75 per hot dog. So I think we got tangled up on the words. Varies directly just means it's proportional, and so does constant of variation. You could have done stat edit, would have been a little bit extra work.